Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast, the podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 568, and it is your review of Faces, Places. As always, it is the nerd you gonna hear to host the show, alongside my wonderful co-host, Young Yoda.
So what's up, everybody? Can't see me.
Can't see me, man. Can't see me. Yep, we're here to finally conclude Agnes Varda month as we look at the documentary film Faces, Places.
Wait,
But
what was that?
Faces, Places.
Okay. Thought you said places.
No, Faces, Places.
Okay. Places.
But before we can get into any of that, Brad, what up?
I spent 3 hours trying to fix a plotter.
A what?
So we have a vinyl cutter. It cuts vinyl for like signs and shit.
Yeah.
So one of my guys goes, "Yeah, it's not like cutting. It's not like cutting deep enough." I'm just like, "Okay." And they usually come to me because it's like he can work a computer.
Now they want you to work a cutter.
I spent 3 hours fucking with this thing. Look on YouTube, reading things. And I guaranteed I probably broke this thing twice, like in the time span. And finally figured it out and it works. So I don't know. But there was one moment, so it like moves back and forth, but it sounded like gravel moving back and forth. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. And then there's another, like you can change the depth it cuts. And I think I had it too deep and it just went. And I was like, ooh,
oh no.
That's not good.
Oh no, that probably wasn't what you were trying to do.
No. I did finally figure it out, so it's all good.
Well, Brad, I'm glad that's what was the most eventful thing you did today. I guess.
Mean, other than that, in a meeting, that's all I did today. So yeah.
Jesus. Well, man, I mean, sometimes that's all you gotta do, right?
You just
mess up a machine and
fix it all in the same time period.
Yeah. I worked, watched this movie, and that's it. Not much else going on around here. Huh?
That's all we do is watch movies.
Yes, sir. All we end up doing. But yeah, dude, we did that and came back over here and I was like, oh, all right, cool. We get to talk about this movie now. Because it's been a while since we were supposed to finish up this month, but of course we're gonna go ahead and actually finally do it for y'all.
If anybody's been following this show for more than a year or two, you realize that time frames do not exist in our universe.
No, but we're gonna try. We're gonna really try next month, to actually fix the chaotic means that this. What's it called?
What's next month?
I have no idea what we're doing next month.
No, what's next month? May?
Yeah, May.
Yeah, I'm going to New Orleans in like the first week of May, so.
Well,
this man's like, God.
Why can't this be like the first year we did the podcast where you just didn't do anything?
Look. I didn't choose to go to Disneyland. I'm not the one choosing to go to New Orleans. I just get pulled to wherever I get pulled. If it was up to me, I wouldn't leave the house. I like my house. I need to continue working on my house.
Guys, we just went on a trip. Why do we have to go anywhere?
Because it's my mother, and you explained that to her.
Isn't this a flat circle around here anyways?
Yes.
Isn't that a flat circle around here? Yeah, apparently.
I mean, just like the flat earthers.
Yeah. I mean, the first week of May.
I mean, a lot of things were very simple back when we first started this podcast. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think we'll be fine because we should be. You know, this is a conversation to have off air. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely.
I'm glad to see Stacy in here, though.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see Stacy here too. All right, we'll talk about this off air. but of course, we're gonna finally talk about this movie, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. If you haven't watched it, if you haven't watched Faces Places, then you should probably get out of here if you care about spoilers. But if you don't care about spoilers, then you should probably stay. Either way, how it goes is your one and only spoiler warning, and it is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow. This man turned into Waluigi right here.
All right, y'all. So, of course, as you all probably know, this is a one paragraph introduction here from
Of course.
Wikipedia. So, I'm just going to go ahead and read Criterion first and then go to Wikipedia um, because they have that whole complete box set of all of Agnes's movies. So, they have an
No, Stacy.
introduction.
This is not that movie.
No, it is not the. No.
It is not that. There's no Nicolas Cage.
All right. A late career triumph of lovingly handcrafted humanism. Agnes Varda's Academy Award nominated penultimate film sees the
You can do it.
octogenarian director joining forces with the 30 something street photographer JR. Not Jim Ross. It's not to be confused with
Jim
Jim Ross.
Ross's barbecue sauce.
No,
This episode is sponsored by JR's barbecue sauce.
no, it's not. Crisscrossing rural France in their roving camera mobile, a truck that produces larger than life portraits of the people they meet, which are then pasted onto local walls. The pair encounter an array of farmers, former miners, dock workers, and others whose stories form a collage of country where meaningful traditions persist in the face of encroaching modernity. A detour-rich road movie, a charming intergenerational buddy film, and an ode to artisans of all stripes. Faces Places finds Varda making new memories while revisiting old ones, yielding what is ultimately a bittersweet, puckishly profound reflection on on the ephemeral nature of art, relationships, and life itself.
By God, this film is broken into 3 acts.
Yep. Yep. Oh my God. Faces Places, literally translated into Visage Villages, is a 2017 documentary film directed by Agnes Varda and JR. It was screened out of competition at the 2017 Cannes Film Festival, where it won the fuck. I do not know what that says. It is wow. What this is gonna this is gonna like lead to anything or oh le le prix le prix du documentu award. Basically, the Palme d'Or version for documentary films.
Huh.
Yeah. The film follows Varda and JR traveling around rural France, creating portraits of the people they come across. It was released on June 28, 2017 in France and October 6, 2017 in the United States. It was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature at the 90th Academy Awards. The film was Varda's second to last work, preceding Varda by Agnes in 2019. Uh, so you have a lot of cinematographers here, man, who I do not know how to say any other names. So there's like 5 different, y'all.
You want me to try?
Okay, Brad, go.
Cinematography by Romain Le Boniac, Claire Dugo, Nicolas Gouchetot, Valentine Vignette, Raphael Minnesota.
Edited by Maxime Potsi Garcia. Music by Matthew Shadid. And it sits at an hour and 29 minutes. And with a budget of $1 million, it was a success because it made $4 million at the box office.
Hey,
Get it how you can.
go my French grandma.
God. Oh, okay, you already read that. But yeah, Brett, that is basically the introduction here. Do you what do you want to go first, Brett?
I'll go first.
What are your initial thoughts on Faces Places?
You ever feel like you've seen the same movie 3 times?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. That's
Well-
what this film. But here's the thing: is you get like, if you watch the previous films, like you get like more, like I guess introspective of what was going on behind the scenes from this film.
Yeah, the
So
next one
it's
always has. Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool in a way, but it is like watching the same film 3 times. But uh, past that, like I could watch Anya's like the whole day. Like I could
Hmm.
just her life. It's astounding. So I don't. I liked it. I mean, I liked it as a documentary. Is it the greatest thing ever on earth? No, that might be because it feels like I did watch, you know, the same movie a third time in a way. But I like it. I like the chemistry between JR and Agnes, and just, Agnes is just having fun at this point.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Brad. But I think that each one. So, like, look, I think that this is an informal trilogy to me. I label this as an informal trilogy.
I get it.
Beaches of Agnes, Faces Places, and Varda by Agnes, because each movie reveals something from the last. Um, so like Beaches of Agnes is the first one, and then this one kind of reveals a little bit of Beaches of Agnes that we didn't really get to see.
Yeah,
Uh,
like the whole JR like
yeah,
perspective of it, of him. What I didn't know he had a cool freaking truck rolling around printing out giant pictures
yeah.
that they would post on walls and stuff. And then I think my favorite part was the beach scene. You Because we generally like that beach scene
Oh my
of
God,
Beaches
yes,
Agnes when they disappear, and just seeing more and getting more behind the scenes of how they put the kid on that stone outcropping. I
yeah.
was like, that was cool.
And then once again, like that scene means something else within the confines of Beaches of Agnes.
Yeah,
Whereas in this one, she relates it to how she feels like being around Jr. And it's like, yes, it is the same movie from the last one, but in a way it's kind of not. It's a
it's a little
different
more
it's a
like,
different interpretation.
yeah, it's different. And also, you also get a little more like background of like that wasn't her first choice, like her first picture she wanted to put up, but that's what ended up going up because I did like the little moment where he's like, "You found the ugliest house in
I feel like she
at
was
the
a little
beaches
pissed off
Normandy."
about that. Brad, I don't know about you, but I feel like she was a little pissed
She's
off about
slightly,
that.
I think slightly, but it was funny
Yeah,
because it
yeah,
was an ugly, like it was an ugly house. It's just cinder
yeah,
block house. I was laughing. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Because like, and I love the moments in this movie where her and Jr. just like being people with each other, and like she's like getting so mad at Jr. because he won't take off the glasses, and he's like, "What are you scolding me for? We're here to work. Stop getting mad at me for that."
Yeah, and even when they went to see his grandmother, and she's like, "Yeah, that's just him. He doesn't take off his sunglasses for anyone."
Yeah. Well, he
But
did.
he did, but it took Godard basically being an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I remember I told you I was like, hey man, like, Scott Goddard's like I'll tell you this. I always say this. Godard is an incredible filmmaker. He is one somebody who revolutionized the cinema as what's it called? As Varda says, he created his cinema and then he
The French New
destroyed
Wave.
his cinema.
Hmm.
Yeah. He what's it called? He really did. He really was a guy during the French New Wave that really just paved his own way and said, "Fuck story structure, fuck the three acts, fuck what's it called conventional storytelling. I'm gonna go from this and I'm gonna make something." And then he went down a weird path in his last movies where he just said, "Fuck whatever you think is making movies. I'm gonna make these like different images." And it's like, yeah, his last movies aren't the most I won't say profound, but I say easy to follow.
You
But
can't really follow him.
he's an
Yeah.
incredible filmmaker. But Godard's an asshole. Godard's a fucking
I
asshole.
kind of got that from this movie.
Yeah. And look, whatever Agnes did not warrant him having to remind her about Jack like that.
Yeah.
And you can tell that it really got to Agnes. She starts crying, man, and she's like wow, like what's it called? I'm here to what's it called to see you, and the
Introduce
thing.
JR to him.
Yeah, and what do? You just like don't even answer the door for me, and you just remind me. What's it called? You put a quote from something that used to be so special to me and my husband, and it's like, yeah, she what's it called? She rightfully reacted the way she reacted, man. Like that was a dick move.
Yeah. I mean, even if like they were saying Adar was like trying to pull a prank, still a dick
Yeah,
move.
yeah, it's a dick move. And I think like at the end, kind of like Agnes kind of realizes like, yeah, it's just how he is. That's so
Yeah,
Dard.
yeah.
That's good Dard. Dard's an
And
asshole.
but I did like her little quote of, yeah, you won't be able to meet JR. So
Yeah, but what did she say? Like, thank you for your memory, but no, thank you for your hospitality.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Your lack of hospitality or something.
your
Yeah.
lack of hospitality. But like I said, man, I like this movie, Brad. I think that
How can
that
you not? We're just following our French grandmother around
yeah,
again.
like just her way of interacting with people around her, the way that she just like what's it called is so fascinated by everybody else's stories. Like she takes these three women who she knows nothing about, and she's like, "Let me make a photo painting of you guys because you all are the backbone of these three workers here."
Oh, and her just meeting just regular people and creating these fantastic art images like from them. And then I don't know. I just really like the interaction between her and JR throughout this movie. I thought that was the best part because
Oh
it
yeah,
was just like he's basically taking care of his grandmother as she's going around and trying to do art.
yeah.
Oh,
She's trying to do art, and she's just like okay, but he's like trying to what's it called? You can tell that like the generational difference between each other. Like she finds busting my chops to be like rude, but he's like, well, we'll be fine. Like
yeah,
what's it
it's fine.
called?
It'll be all
We'll
right.
be okay. We'll be okay. And but she's like so concentrated on making sure that the what's it called that the project goes how it needs to go. But it's just a beautiful documentary, man.
I
Um,
I like it that it gives a little more background information. Like previous she said she had like eye problems. I didn't realize
yeah.
the state of those eye problems where she was
Oh
getting like what weekly or monthly injections or something.
yeah. Which,
Holy
by the
shit.
way, oh my god, did I feel queasy looking at that, bro?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I was like, dude, it's like, no, 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 no. I was like,
Ugh.
oh, but
Ooh.
yeah,
And I
it,
like I like how she like said, yeah, it doesn't matter much because I've seen that one movie where they took a knife across the dog's eyes.
oh yeah, a Sean Andalou,
Yeah.
the Andalusian dog, yeah, from Lisbon. Yeah, I have seen that movie too, Brad. I have seen that movie too, where he's literally it's just a guy in the back with a razor blade and a woman, and she goes,
Ooh.
you know,
Whew.
it's obviously fake, but yeah, just oh my god,
Still. Ugh.
ooh, yeah, but
No
yeah,
bueno.
man. I really like this movie. Yes, it is kind of the same fucking movie,
I mean,
but
I don't mind it. Like that's the thing though is I kind of like how you put it. This is kind of like a trilogy in a way.
yeah, each movie reveals something else from what's it called from there. Of course, there is a movie that's in between these three films. Beaches of Agnes. There's one Agnes from here to there, but it's more of a TV miniseries. But I
Hmm.
think that one's more of a look into like this art scene itself. So like that would be an interesting way to look at like how that works within these other films because like
Yeah,
that has to be where she probably meets Jr. or like she meets
I'd
like
imagine.
yeah where she
But
like
did they
sees Jr.'s artwork.
did they ever go into how they really met? Because at the beginning of this movie, they'd said of all the ways they hadn't met. Like they
Yeah,
didn't meet at at a bakery, and which was funny because Agnes totally got the two eclairs that he wanted.
yeah. No, they don't actually say how they met.
I did like that they didn't meet on the dance floor. Agnes is in a club dancing.
Yeah, she was like, oh my god. But yeah, dude, like they don't actually go into how they meet, but they're just they're like natural chemistry with each other, and they obviously what's it called really enjoy their time together, and it literally is basically a grandmother and her grandson exploring the world and meeting people, and how, and like, what's it called, painting each other, painting those
Yeah.
people, and
And I
yeah,
I loved just how some of these people like became just celebrities, like unwanted celebrities
yeah,
based on their picture. The one woman holding the umbrella, and she's like I was not expecting this, and it became like the most famous picture out of her town that's been photographed.
yeah. That was a really good photograph,
It
though.
really was.
Yeah, I look back at it, and I was gonna ask you, Brad, which one was your favorite one from the film?
That one was good. My favorite is still on the beach. I just think that that has a lot of like personal stuff for Anya's, and then also just the whole when it gets washed away by the sea, and
Yeah,
then from beaches Anya's they sit during the windstorm. So there's a lot to that one, and a lot of
yeah,
background to that one that I particularly like because I like the whole lore of that.
yeah. And you see, that's kind of why I like, I feel like this is a trilogy of sorts, because like,
Yeah,
yeah, you wouldn't really understand why that picture means a lot to her if you don't watch Beaches of Agnes and hear that, like, how that was a really personal
but
photo to her.
but isn't it crazy how basically Jr. was sitting in the same spot
Yeah,
that she took of like I don't know, was it 60 years ago or
yeah,
something? And it just that you think of those things, you just think like, time moves really quickly and we don't stay that long.
yeah. We don't. And yeah, man, I thought it was really good as a documentary. It works really well. It's not, it doesn't, what's it called, it doesn't drag. It's not rushed. I
No.
think it was
It's
a
only
really
an
good doc.
hour, what is it, hour 28 minutes?
Yeah, 29, like 30 some minutes. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. Plus, I love the way they did the credits with like the drawings and stuff. I like that. I thought that was
with
really
the
cool.
music. Yeah.
Yeah, the music was good too. Yeah. Also the I forgot the baguette pictures. I like those too.
Oh, that where they just the extra long baguette. I mean, it's
Yeah,
so simplistic in thinking of it, but it's really cool.
yeah. And also the man that they met, who was like telling them like, um, yeah, I just live off my pension. And also, I don't think he revealed to them whether he worked or not.
Oh.
Like, he was just kind of like, yeah, those who work make a really nice pension, and those who don't have a small little pension. But he doesn't actually answer Agnes's
Go
question.
into it. I
Yeah,
like the well, and she just meeting just regular people like the farmer
yeah,
who
the
was
farmer.
basically he was basically I liked how he ended up looking like Jesus or Mary
Yeah,
Magdalene on the fucking barn. But I liked how he went in being like, yeah, 200 acres, I can farm it alone because technology. And it's just like, well, now we've gotten into kind of like a whole new topic of, everyone losing their jobs to technology.
yeah. And the what's it called, the goats too, like the
Oh
fact that
yeah,
like,
the go
yeah, we had an electrical machine that would help us do this. It broke down, so now they just do it by hands.
yeah.
Oh man, I think they said like they could make like a fuck ton of cheese, right? And I was like, oh my,
And
that's
she
so
was
many
doing it like
goats.
naturally just by herself because it was her and just another guy. The one guy milked it and milked
Yeah,
the goats, and she made the cheese. And it's
yeah,
like that's ridiculous. And then they go to the abandoned village, and that was really cool because they just had
yeah,
like a block party at this abandoned village and just stuck people's
yeah,
faces all over these buildings.
yeah. Oh, and oh, I'm glad that we haven't finished. I was gonna bring up when she's going up the water tower to see the when she's going up the building to see the water tower, and
Mhm.
JR is just going up real quick, and she's just like, "Yeah, I don't think I can go up the other steps. Like, I'm good." Fucking asshole. But that was really cool the way they did the water tower with the fishes. I
Yeah.
like that a lot. That
Oh,
was
and
really
then they
cool.
go like how they show how they photographed it and just that
Yeah,
whole sequence of photographing the fish and just how difficult it kind of was because the fish were slipping off the plate and shit.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I there's a lot of good stuff. Like I just love how they added more onto how they got these shots instead of just doing the shots.
Yeah, yeah. It was good to see just the way that the process worked, instead of just like, hey, look, we're just putting up these pictures. And it's like,
Yeah,
because it also what's it called, lets you see how the relationship between JR and Anya's develop. But Brad, I'm gonna go ahead and give for my final verdict, Faces Places an 8.5 out of 10.
and
Liked a
I'm
lot.
gonna
It's nowhere near near like Beaches of Agnes and Vado
No.
Agnes.
I mean, like I said, it's kind of like watching the same film a third time, but it's a good film. I say watch all three of them, and
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
All right, man. What's it called? That's our review of Faces Places, and of course, we want to thank you all so much. That concludes Agnes Varda month. We have some more stuff to go through, but that'll have to be saved for next week. But of course, we want to thank you all so much for our for being here. Thank you to wow, I'm sorry. I'm off of work, yo. I'm kind of tired right now. But if you would like to, please check out our website, thenerdcore.com, Instagram at the Nerdcore, Twitter at the Nerdcore underscore, Patreon.com/the to catch this episode live and early before anybody gets to see it on Saturday. That's only for $1 a month. And of course, if you would like to check out our Discord, check out the description in the video and audio version. Speaking of video and audio, if you're
Look at
watching on
this
YouTube,
photograph.
stop.
Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm good, bro. Um, of course, if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure that you leave a like on this video, you subscribe, and you click that notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of content drops on the site on the YouTube. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do it. Do it.
Also, if you're listening on the audio side, press that 5-star review. You can do it on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Please, that helps us out a lot too. Of course, thank you to our Patreon supporters because without them, it's not possible. Thank you to our producer Shane. Where can you find him, Brad?
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at ThriftedIL or go buy something from the Subby God at PrisonCityVintage.com.
Yes, sir. Crest Hill, Illinois.
If
Check
you
out
want to go to
Prison
the
City
store.
Vintage. Yep. But with that said, Brad, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Next week, y'all, we're gonna continue on with our On Way month as we look at the final film in that month, and then we're gonna conclude Wong Kar Wai month on Thursday, on the Saturday review. Yeah. But without further ado, Brad, let's send them out of here.
All right, Ron. Thank you, being host as always. Thank you to Stacy for joining us in chat today. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, I'm just going to say, find yourself a French grandma and give her a hug. Young Yoda out.